Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Spencer Walsh, and we have a great episode of Uncultured for you here today. We got some sports coming in with Bennett Lax, and we got a special mix today, the New York City mix coming in. We're going to play you, pretty much take you through the ages of New York City rap, and it's going to be very, very exciting. Something I probably know better about. I know definitely like the ins and outs of like New York rap better than any other city. Not to say I'm like a complete expert. The whole point of the show is that I am uncultured in a lot of this kind of stuff, but I just am generally a pretty big fan. So what we're going to do today, we do though have to welcome Bennett to the show. Welcome back, Bennett, to the show. And yeah, Bennett is here, and he's going to be talking a bit about some of the biggest things in NBA free agency. So it did end over the weekend. Am I correct about that?
It didn't quite end, but not a lot of signings have been made since the weekend.
Yeah, it kind of calmed down a bit.
Yeah.
So
all the big free agents are gone. So,
what are some of the big free agency points that you want to go over?
Well, the best player in free agency, Kawhi Leonard, re-signed with the Clippers, but that was pretty expected and pretty obvious, I think. So, I mean, the huge unexpected thing was obviously the Westbrook trade to the Lakers, which probably makes them title favorites, in my opinion. A lot of people would say that, or maybe not a lot of people, but people certainly would say that Westbrook with the Lakers isn't the greatest fit. But my sort of take is just put as much talent as you can on your roster and let them figure it out. So I think the Lakers went out and made the right move, and I'm excited to see the Lakers next year. Also adding guys like Malik Monk and Kendrick Nunn, huge additions to the Lakers. And then the Bulls got a lot better with the signings of DeRozan and Lonzo Ball, and even Caruso, who's a great bench guy. Three important signings for them. And then another big improver, the Knicks, picking up Evan Fournier, picking up Kemba Walker, re-signing all the guys they needed to re-sign. Couldn't get back Reggie Bullock, who went to the Mavericks, but still an A free agency for the Knicks, in my opinion, especially getting Kemba Walker to a really cheap deal.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the interesting things. If we're talking about like one of the biggest reasons why the Lakers fell short of their expectations, very well could have been because of just the team was just not gelling together. And Russell Westbrook, his status as kind of a diva is well known, and we saw how LeBron was working with Kyrie Irving, and it did take them quite a bit to really figure themselves out in the way that was title ready. Of course, there were a lot of injuries there, but what do you make of that argument?
I think it's a good argument adding a supposed diva to a team that might not have the best chemistry. But I mean, I'm still on the notion that LeBron can elevate any team. LeBron probably maybe not the best player in the world anymore, but maybe he is. Maybe he's definitely up there. And his specialty has always been the floor raiser. Turning baddish teams, teams without chemistry, teams without a leader. He fills that leader role.
But those really always have been teams that have a lot of very poor pieces, and he can kind of pull them together. But yeah, they've always been teams like there hasn't been a personality he's had to contend with as much as Russell Westbrook. And I've always been a LeBron supporter. I've been a fan of LeBron, but yeah, it seems like it's going to be a tough sell for LeBron and Westbrook given just their past records.
Well, I don't know because LeBron made it work with Kyrie, and Kyrie is just as big of a diva as I would say Westbrook is, maybe even more. In my opinion, at least. I'm not a big Kyrie guy.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody would agree with that, but
it's not like Westbrook has ever like requested to be traded away from his team so he could be the star. I mean, he tried to make it work with Durant.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Onto one of some of these smaller teams definitely working to get up. It goes with our New York theme quite nicely here with the New York Knicks. They have been in a bit of an interesting situation here, making some pretty, kind of patchwork moves with free agency. But I think probably the biggest problem for the team was just it performed so good in the regular season. But was it one of those cases, would you say, where the dog just kind of caught up to the moving van and didn't really know what quite to do when playoff time came around? And experience was just going to fix that, or?
I mean, I think experience could help that. I think Julius Randle playing well could help that because, I mean, he just did not. He was the heart and soul of the team, and he just didn't play well in the playoffs. Simply as that. So, I mean, if your best player isn't playing like himself, or like he can, I mean, it's really hard to win games.
And do you think that's because of a kind of playoff problem, or?
I mean, that's just really his first time playing in the playoffs, so I'm not mad at it. First time jitters. I just want to see him turn it around next year. Yeah, hopefully we make the playoffs.
Yeah, and I mean, he really does need to do that in order for them to be kind of with the current team that they have, any shot of being a.
He needs to be a star. RJ needs to take a step forward. Quickly needs to take a step forward. Mitch does. We have a bunch of guys who need to step up. So it'll be fun.
Yeah. So there's definitely what is going to be, because a lot of the times with these teams you got like the one big thing, like the glue that binds them all together. What do you think that could be in this situation?
Glue for the Knicks.
Yeah. Like what is going to be the thing that like unites them together? How can they take some of their good pieces? And especially like with a lot of kind of youth and experience to kind of get them together. I
think the best glue for the Knicks is Tom Thibodeau, their coach. He had a phenomenal year last year. He won Coach of the Year, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he came in second actually. I would have to check that, but he was definitely top 3, top 2. So. Had a phenomenal coaching year last year. He elevated the Knicks from a supposed 14th seed in the East to the 4th seed in a serious playoff team. He has some connections. He has a really nice connection with Rose. Helps elevate Rose's game. So that's really important, too, because Rose is one of our leaders. So.
Yeah, so do you think the expectations for the Knicks this year are going to be higher or lower, given their performance?
I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff online about how, the Knicks is just like a fluke. It's, it's this, it's that. The Bulls got better. The Celtics are going to play like the Celtics next year, and the Knicks are going to, fall back to like the 8th or 9th seed.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting patiently because I don't think that's the case.
So you think people are going to be motivated by that, possibly?
Well, possibly motivated by that, and also I think we're just a good basketball team. Like a lot of the games last year that a bad team, I watched like pretty much every game of the Knicks last year, and they close out games, which is something that I've never really seen a Knicks team do. Last year, this past season was the first season I've really been excited about a core foundation of Knicks, because they don't bow, they don't settle, they don't fold, they keep fighting. They're hard workers who play scrappy, good defense.
Yeah, it's probably one of the rarest qualities in a basketball team that you can see.
Yeah.
Especially like other teams that are successful at the level the Knicks are successful, they'll have other things, but that'll probably be 9 times out of 10 one of the things that they don't have.
Yeah.
So yeah, to see the Knicks having that, definitely a big deal.
That's the advantage we have over teams like the Lakers. They're just like they try to overpower people with just having better players, but we're kind of that scrappy underdog team, which I like.
All right, so we talked about the Lakers and the Knicks. Bennett, do you have any more teams that you want to talk about for free agency?
Well, yeah, I mentioned the Bulls, and I just want to quickly mention the Heat.
Yeah, we can go for the Bulls and the Heat next. After this, we have a biggie block Notorious B.I.G. starting off with Warning on Uncultured in the New York City Mix. Your microphone just went out.
If my burglar alarm starts ringing, what you think all the guns is for? All-purpose war got the Rockwellers by the door, and I feed them gunpowder so they can devour the criminals trying to drop my decimals. Damn, niggas wanna stick me for my cream, and it ain't a dream. Things ain't always what it seems. It's the ones that smoke blunts with ya, see your picture. Now they wanna grab their guns and come and get ya. Bet your Biggie won't slip. I got the calico with the black talons loaded in the clip, so I can rip through the ligaments. Put the fuckers in the bad predicament where all the foul niggas went. Touch my cheddar, feel my Beretta. Fuck when I'ma hit you with, your motherfuckers better duck. I bring pain, blood stains on what remains of his jacket. He had a gun, he should've packed it, cocked it. Extra clips in my pocket so I can reload and explode on your asshole. I fuck around and get hardcore. C4 to your door, no beef, no more, nigga. Feel the rough, scandalous. The more weed smoke I puff, the more dangerous.
Yeah, we gotta go get something to eat, man. I'm hungry in the motherfucker.
Hey, yo, man. Damn, what's taking homie so long, son?
50, calm down. When you coming?
Oh, the fuck? Hold on.
Many men wish death upon me. Blood in my eye, dog, and I can't see. I'm trying to be what I'm destined to be, and niggas trying to take my life away. I put a hole in a nigga for fucking with me. My back on the wall, now you gon' see. Better watch how you talk when you talk about me, cause I'll come and take your life away. Many men wish death on me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me. These pussy niggas put money on my head. Gone, get your refund, motherfucker. I ain't dead. I'm the diamond in the dirt that ain't been found. I'm the underground king, and I ain't been crowned. When I rhyme, something special happen every time. I'm the greatest, something like Ali in his prime. I walk the block with the bundles, I've been knocked on the humble. Swing the ox when I rumble, show your ass with my gun do. Gotta tip a nigga, go ahead, lose your head. Turn your back on me, get clapped and lose your legs. I walk around, gun on my waist, chip on my shoulder, till I bust a clip in your face. Post to this beef ain't over. Many men wish death upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more. Don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me. Have mercy on my soul. Somewhere my heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men. Many men. Wish death sunny days wouldn't be special if it wasn't for rain. Joy wouldn't feel so good if it wasn't for pain. Death gotta be easy, cause life is hard. It'll leave you physically, mentally, and emotionally scarred. This is for my niggas on the block, twisting trees and cigars. For the niggas on lock, doing life behind bars. I don't say only God can judge me, cause I see things clear. Quick, these crackers will give my black ass 100 years. I'm like Paulie and Goodfellas, you can call me the Don. Like Malcolm by any means, with my gun in my palm. Slim switch sides on me, let niggas ride on me. I thought we was cool, why you want me to die, homie? Many men, many men wish death upon me, Lord. I don't cry no more, don't look to the sky no more. Have mercy on me, have mercy on my soul. Somewhere my heart turned cold. Have mercy on many men, many men wish death upon me. Every night I talk to God, but he don't say nothing back. I know he protected me, but I still stay with my gat and my nightmares. Niggas keep pulling checks on me. Cypher said some bitch done put a hex on me. The feds didn't know much when Pop got shot. I got a kite from the pins that told me Tuck got knocked. I ain't gon' spell it out for you motherfuckers all the time. Are you a literate nigga? You can't read between the lines. In the Bible it says, what goes around comes around. Homo shot me, 3 weeks later he got shot down. Now it's clear that I'm here for a real reason. Cause he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing.
One of the biggest artists in New York and still continues to be the epitome of a rap businessman. We're keeping it going with one of the slickest crews out there, ASAP Ferg, ASAP Rocky, Work.
Don't know how to be quiet.
Bennett, do you know this one? Do you know Work?
Stand up.
Yeah, I do.
You're a fan?
Of ASAP Rocky.
Third.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Coochie down to the socks like I'm Biggie Papa.
We got more free agency talk, though, coming right
in my
up.
Tommy boxes, but rent it out. She a silly hoe, cause she know the friggin' style getting plenty dough. She don't get nothing from my nigga though. All she get is hard dick and some Cheerios. Kinda sell it out, but I'm never out. But I put them in the dirt with the penny low. No tint though, on my window, so you see a nigga shining in the Benzo. Got me feeling like Jim Jones. I'm a pimp though, no limp though. Couldn't copy my style in Kinko's. Put in work, run up on the killer, then I put him in the dirt. Run up in the building, so me gon' squirt. That's what a nigga get when he getting on my nerves. I ain't lying. Lay him on the curb, riding on the killer who be coming that firm. Girl, you twerk, twerk that kitty, girl, make it turn. Put in work, Flacco, put him in the dirt. Fresh got the shovel, he gon' put him in the earth. Trinidad maniac gon' hurt. Yeah, put in work. Schoolboy Q with a pound of the perk. So much work, he'll smoke up the earth. Polo ground, ASAP work.
That ain't Kanye, nope. That's Montana, a loose cannon. He shot me, so I had to do it. Put him in the dirt, put him in the first. I just saw him swimming with 10 homies on it. Her ass fat, you can park 10 Tahoes on it. When they mask up, coming for your ice. When they big face, they coming for your life. Baby, don't pray for me, pray for the weak. I'm drinking lean, it help me sleep. Illuminati, I'm from the streets. Never saw my body. We taking bodies.
Put in work. Put in work. Put in work. Put him in that dirt.
Shout out that motherland. 12 years old with guns in hand. They don't ask no questions, nigga. All they do is bang, bang, bang. They don't ask no questions. All they do is bang, bang. I say, I do this for them shotters. Trinidad, I love you. I do this for them shotters. Jamaica, I'm your brother. I know a bitch from VI. Yeah, that's my partner. You got a problem with it, then that's your problem. I fuck with Asian niggas, and I fuck with Migos. I fuck with Haitian niggas, all they speak is Creole. I said all I speak is real. Y'all niggas might hate me, but that don't get no deal. I said now that don't get no deal. I just not got my deal, but I been getting this money. No green card in this struggle, immigration give you nothing but work,
Put in
nigga,
work.
work,
Put in
nigga,
work.
work,
Put in
nigga,
work.
yeah.
There we go. That is some classic, obviously, it stays one of the best out there for sure. ASAP Rocky. And, ASAP Rocky and ASAP Ferg. I don't know when we're going to exactly get we've had actually some music from ASAP Ferg recently. I was talking about it originally before about why they do not do a hip hop sports crossover kind of a station. I think that would do super, super well. But maybe that is just me. I am not sure. But anyway, we do have a lot more kind of this free agency talk because obviously it has been this way in the NBA for an insane amount of time where we have it's pretty much all the time I've been following the NBA. There's like 2 or 3 teams at the top with like 2/3 of the stars, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like there's some better diversity now than there was a little bit ago when like the Warriors were like the best team by a mile with Durant. Definitely the Nets and the Lakers are a little bit, and I guess the Bucks maybe potentially are like a little bit of a class above the rest.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't really see another team besides those 3 teams winning a title.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a lot of teams that could potentially surprise me and make a deep playoff run, such as like the Suns, of course, as they did last year.
Yeah.
The Clippers, the Mavericks, I could see making deep playoff runs. The Jazz. That's a good team. Probably not the Sixers, but the Hawks made a nice run this past year.
Yeah. So like, what are some of the biggest in terms of like contenders that are kind of just on the outside? Like, who made some of the best moves?
Who made the best moves? You want me to give you like a
yeah, let's go through. You're going to talk to me about the Bulls, right?
Yeah, well, I think the Bulls upgraded their team the most.
Yeah.
It was either the Bulls or the Lakers. And like the Bulls signing DeRozan, that's massive. DeRozan gives you like 22 points a game and solid defense. Signing Lonzo, massive, gives you like 18 and 8, plays really good defense,
Mm-hmm.
and just elevates your team. Massive guy, and then throwing Caruso. I mean, what a signing! Plays defense, shoots threes. And he's really athletic. Great off the bench. That's a really good signing to complement Kobe White, who is on that bench as well.
All right. Yeah, and so they do have a pretty good situation. What about in the West? Like, what are they obviously signed Chris Paul, right? And a lot of people re-signing their old stars. But take us through some of the other highlights here.
Suns re-signing Chris Paul, as you said. Jazz re-signing Conley.
Mm-hmm.
Heat trading for Kyle Lowry. That's huge. They did have to give up Dragic, but still, that's pretty big. Mavericks grabbing Reggie Bullock, re-signing Tim Hardaway Jr. Clippers re-signing Reggie Jackson. And the Lakers picking up all those guys like Carmelo, Malik, and Kendrick, as I said. And Hornets signing Oubre. That's pretty good deal. And then I think the Knicks signing Kemba and Fournier, re-signing all those guys.
So the big question is now, in the future, do you expect any more drama, any more dramatic situations to come down the pike?
I think if I was the Raptors GM, I would trade Siakam, trade Dragic, and restart. I think I could get a nice.
How far did they get in the playoffs?
They didn't make the playoffs last year.
They didn't make the playoffs. Yeah, so that's a pretty disappointing situation where they were.
And after trading Lowry, it really seems like they're not going to be a team that's competing. So I would sell Siakam, or not sell him, trade Siakam, and get rid of some of those older guys who still have value. Siakam isn't that old; he's probably like 27. Still has a lot of value. Get rid of him, and see what that nets you, and then start the rebuilding process.
All right, we're going to take a break to reset our microphones. We're going to hop right back on that stream mode. But on the part 2 of our 17th episode, we will be talking about the new, restarted Antonio Brown, ready for a new chapter with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's going to be a very interesting situation. to say the least. This guy's clearly so talented, but so troubled, and we're going to get Bennett's thoughts on that next, but in the second episode.